as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
There's another trailer after this. I just wanted to point out that I can defy sleep.
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Late Night Waffle Lodge. As many of you guys may know, my name is Shanthan Jetty. You're watching Shanthan Jetty Art. And this, my friends, is all based on, people were asking, what is a Waffle Lodge? That's a very good question. A Waffle Lodge is a loving homage to one of my favorite places in the world that I used to hang out at late at night, which was the Waffle House on Brainerd Road in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you look it up, you will actually see there's some quite a few news articles on it. They usually involve firearms. But the whole thing is that it's we would hang out there, my friends and I, having coffee and just terrible battery acid-like coffee, but breakfast anytime, and I have fond memories of it. So when I was thinking about what I should do for shows, I said, I want to do something that is waffle-themed. I mean, I'm making comics and fantasy art and all this stuff, but for some reason, I wanted to do something that was waffle-themed. And what's evolved to be, if you look at that frame that I have between various screens, what you'll see is there are some loving nods to the Twilight Zone. And if you send a super chat, you will actually get to see our beautiful cheerleaders here, our Waffle Lodge girls, as well as more background detail references to Twilight Zone, which I love. But I want to go see who I've got in the chat first before I bring in one of our guests here. Let's see who we've got here. We've got John up first. That's the way it is. It's great to see you, John. Long time no see indeed. What is up, comrade Sammy? It's great to see you. Hazret, it is great to see you as well. I hope you were doing well. Channel member, loud and proud. Cranberry Langers in the house. Cranberry Langers, it is great to see you. I hope you are doing well. Yes, indeed. We've got the groomsmen in the house, and hold on a second here. We've got the groomsmen in the house. I got to be honest with you guys. I feel like we have an order up right now. Let me see if this could possibly be. It's not Mr. McFeely. This isn't Mr. Rogers. Okay, this might very well be the groomsmen. So let's see what happens. Charge! There he is. What's up? Welcome to hell. Dude, the groomsman on camera. Yeah, I hear you great, man.
Too loud, too soft?
You're fine. No, just the way I like it. Dude, it's so you're experiencing it. You're experiencing the joy. Look at this on screen.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited. Man.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry to burst your bubble.
No, I don't think. Listen, they've been in the space for a very long time, and they're obviously here for our looks. They're kind of like I went to go get my license renewed, and it had been a few years and a few pounds later, and you could just see the gal taking my picture, looking at my old license and my current license. She's just kind of like, just makes me really sad to like see the ravages of time. It was like you were this guy, and then you got inflated, and then deflated a little bit. Now you're just this thing, and it's like, oh, it was. But you know, love is love.
I've got pictures from weddings up in our house. So,
dude,
it's the sands of time. They're cruel. They're real cruel.
They're cruel. I love the way you said that, dude. No, man, I'm gonna tell you what. To everybody here in the stream, I was saying this the other day when I was on John's stream. Shout out to Jack Malin. Shout out to the coach. But I was on his stream. I can't remember. Was it a closeout stream? I honestly, the days really blur together in this space. But I was talking to him, and I said that the space that we're in right now, whether it's with Razor Fist or whether it's with all of the guys, Eric Weathers, Vaughn, who I was just streaming with, it's one of the most creative places I've ever been. People are just like, I mean, granted, it takes a lot of managing things. But it's like getting the.
I don't know how you do it all. How many streams? This is 3 today.
Is it?
I don't know how you do this.
Oh yeah, no, it is 3. You're right. Here's the secret. I don't remember. But no, it's
clocks don't work in your house.
They don't. All I say to, like every single day when I get up to do whatever it is I'm going to do, man, it's my attitude is that it's like, well, what do I need to do, like whether it's doing head sketches or anything else, man. I was on well, no, you didn't miss one. I think you were in Eric's, right? Eric just fired up a stream a little while ago, and I popped in there. Yeah, I was in a I was
when you said you're streaming tonight, I was like, oh, okay, he's streaming tonight, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, Eric's streaming, and then who's on Eric's stream? You are, and I'm like, wait, I thought he's streaming tonight on his own thing.
Well, here's a funny story. No, I was getting ready to put out a message to everybody that I'm streaming tonight. And I Eric had just posted in another room I'm in, and he goes, "Hey guys, anybody got time to hop on a stream?" And I'm like going, "Well, I should." Eric's my boy, and they're celebrating. My goodness, they're celebrating because he lettered ISOM and all the Ripaverse books, and they're celebrating, I guess, $600,000 in the first 12 hours.
That is nuts.
It's 100% cacahuete. This, all right. This is some crazy. This is some crazy stuff, my friends. This is crazy. However,
I gotta close the door. Hold on a second.
Okay, that's right. You got to close that door. He doesn't want the bodies falling out. It happens. It can happen to you. But no, I mean, it's really is funny because, this kind of stuff was not possible. It just was not possible just a couple of years ago. And, doing things, where it's like, I've got, I could think about this all day. It's like you're running a TV show and you're like, okay, go to camera A, go to camera. Yes, absolutely. Eric July and I are absolutely tight like that. In fact, Eric, if you're watching, could I hit you up for like $200,000? The roulette wheel hasn't been kind. I can get it back. But I was talking about, this on the stream I was on 5 minutes ago.
What is this from?
This'll blow your mind. Actually, I think I may have shown this to you, but I can't recall.
I don't
Did I show
remember.
this to you? Okay, so this is about the myth of the Philippines of the Manananggal. Yep.
Gesundheit.
And so this is a story I started doing. Oh my gosh. When I got into just a ton of vampire research for a while. What's up, Big Boy Robo? How are you doing? It's great to have you. And again, I must say, channel member, we tip our caps. You guys keep the lights on, guys. And if you want to join the channel, the link is right below this video, guys. Every bit helps. But Cranberry Langer's channel member, thank you, sir. Your name will be in the credits. But so I got really fascinated by that story. And at the same time, some of my favorite fighters are either Filipino or American born. And one of them is a guy named Nonito Donaire, who I'm a big fan of. And that's how it's pronounced in boxing. You know, it's like Manny Pacquiao. It's like, we know. It's not like, you know, I remember when they called Vitaly Klitschko his entire career. And then at the end, it was like, my name is Vitaly. And it's like, oh, you know, it happens. Sorry. You know, sorry. You know, now he's just, I think he's the, is he the mayor of Kiev? Like, I'm not even joking.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I think
he's a busy man. So I started doing a story of this warrior who comes and fights the Manananggal that was inspired by the look of Nonito Donaire. And this is sort of
originals.
These are the originals. Yeah, I did them in a sketchbook.
Just print it, man. That's amazing. These are amazing. Print this. Print it as like an ash can or something, and sell it. Come on. How many pages?
Okay.
How many pages?
What? Oh, dude, it's just started. Let me show it to you first. You might change your mind when you see more of it. You never know. So this is the combat sequence right here, and of course you can see. I would say hilarity ensues, but it's not accurate. There's nothing hilarious here. People got, and then of course it cuts to the boy sort of having his mom turn into a Manananggal because she's been bitten. And the way I designed them is they've got these three eyes that like sort of form and then open up on their sides when they come to life. Yeah, it's some creepy stuff. He's not happy.
That's on her belly. That's her belly.
Yeah, that's her belly and that's her side.
Ugh.
Right there. It's rough, man. And then of course she splits in half as they do. And she attacks him.
Classic.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Too much lumpia.
And then it cuts to where he's a grown man again.
I love
here,
that.
And he is in the arena having more or less taken out all of these challenges, man, and these foes. When I will be honest, a prodigious axe comes down, a very large axe comes down.
That's awesome.
And then it's like on to the next part of the fight. And this is the start of the next part of the fight right there. So
how many pages?
Is this right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I never thought about it. How many pages is it? That's a really good question, man. Because this was going to originally be my first CG thing. So yeah, this is where he gets his eyes burned on the side.
The mark. That's awesome.
The mark that he has on his face.
Amazing.
But it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now, I think.
8 pages. How many were you gonna like finish the fight with the big dude?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I was, dude. It's me. You've known me for over 20-something years.
This is ink wash?
This is it's ink and acrylic washes. So I'm just
okay.
It's the funniest thing, man. I kind of moved over to one media and I use pens. I use whatever I've got, but it's essentially the look of it is kind of ink wash. So here you can see I got a little bit more opaque with the paint. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, sorry, it's a StreamYard stream, so the resolution isn't as good as it could be, but you can kind of see where it gets a little opaque there. But it's a combination of washes and different stylistics that I like to do. So when
That's
I was
beautiful.
doing Razor Fist had some characters, and he was talking about for his novels. He was talking about how he liked black and white stuff. So I've been using this. What's up, Awesome One channel member and Simply Green channel members? I got to say hello to my channel members. It's great to see you guys. And much love, if I may. I don't know if we're at that point in our relationship, Awesome One, but I'd like to think we are, you know, like to think, even if it's, you know, it's against your wishes here. But so yeah, so I was doing some sketches, just playing around with this style that you can kind of see here. And so this right here was if you've seen what's the book called? I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Death Mask, which is Razor Fist's second book in the Night Vale series. This is me doing some sketches inspired by that. And I was just kind of playing around with some of his favorite artists. There was an artist that he liked, Tom Lavelle, who did a lot of shadow illustration. So I was kind of playing with, you know, Tom Lavelle's like light and dark stuff. But this is pretty much what my black and white style would look like, you know, now. You know, and it's like everything I do, you can see little seeds of it. Like this was, you saw this the other night. This was the lion painting demo I did when I was showing like how to use a big brush and just kind of like.
I was on that. I didn't think I saw that stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
keep up with him.
Dude, it's you know, man, it's constant, but it's cool because
these pages are great. They're really good.
Well, you know, like I did the math the other day, and I came to the realization that 50% of my groomsmen were Filipino, and that I might have some very rare form of prejudice that scientists haven't identified it yet, but I'm sure there's someone with a doctorate working on it right now. It's going to be some kind of mini microaggression of some kind. But, you know, and also, you know this because I'm a massive, massive fight fan. And I often cast my characters. I actually did a character that was inspired by the look of Deontay Wilder in my second art book. You know, so I'm always painting fighters. So Nonito Donier, if I'm probably butchering his name, poor man. Not that he cares. He's fine. He's going to be okay. But I was looking at this kind of stuff, and I said I want to do. I was looking at two at the same time. I had been looking at Berserk and looking at some of the manga stuff, and I was thinking, well, how would I attack this, man? You know, like what would I do?
Fist of the North Star is another good one.
Yeah, man. Well,
that one's like really
looking at
brutal
Berserk is pretty
fighting.
much looking at Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was the early issues straight up. that was his influence, man. Yeah. Well, Philippines. I'll tell you a secret about my so-called friends who have history going back to the Philippines. Neither one of them have ever taken me out for Filipino cuisine. So just want to throw that out there. We go for ramen.
That's because there's no Filipino. You mean when you were here? When you were visiting?
Yes, well, I've only visited there like 4 times, man.
Next time you come out here, I will take you to a really good place. There's a really
Next
good
time you're coming out here, and I'm taking you for some crappy Rhode Island food. I will not take no for an answer.
We're doing McDonald's with your son.
Dude, you came along for that. So yeah, that's one of my favorite stories. What's up, Green Laser? How are you doing, Diesel? My brother. Diesel, I got to tell you something, man. I was helping you out on the last stream with Jericho. Did you see how we finally found a way to bridge the gap between Jericho's lack of love for the Raiders? I knew Salma Hayek could bring them together, and it happened. It was just the key, man. So yeah, I mean, it's that's the thing that's so fun about this stuff. You know, we have that chance to kind of push things as much as we want to. And so this right here, what you're seeing right here is what you see. Oh, come on now. See, the chat is evil, man. It's all about food.
Oof.
There it is.
There's good. Yeah. The Filipinos know their meat. That's for sure.
Damn right.
Our vegetables kind of are steeped in meat sauce.
What are vegetables even for? Has anyone ever answered that question?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. You just need more. You just put pork fat with your vegetables and
That's right.
It's better.
Because the animals already ate the vegetables. You're getting it secondhand, and we all know secondhand smoke can be dangerous. So vegetables must be turbocharged when they're in a steak. But yeah, man. But that's the thing about this stuff. What
This
have you
is
got
what I
over
sent
there?
you pictures of
Oh
you.
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do we got, man? Man,
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I just got this yesterday.
what's in it, man? Is it just sketches?
What's in
or?
it? It's yeah, it's kind of like the history, well, not the history, but like
Greatest
just
hits?
all of the stuff about Arzak. Whoop. Sorry, I'm
Dude.
getting used to this like holding things up to camera thing.
Yep.
then
Welcome
they
to my
have,
world,
like,
dude. I
his
remember when you
drawings.
got those gorillas figures. Whoa, way back.
Yeah. They were in their boxes for a while in my garage, and then when I started doing this YouTube stuff, I'm like, I need something
Mhm.
cool in the background with different height. And
Yep.
then I was like, oh yeah, this figures. Look at that. Crazy.
Dude.
Crazy good.
Mobius. Yeah.
I love the
Mobius Zarzak is one of the
juxtaposition
biggest
between
influences.
those two.
Yeah, I know. He's got range, man.
That's a understatement.
Mm-hmm. That is what it is, man. It's like, like I try to surround myself with as much cool stuff. And you actually saw, by the way, when you were mentioned Frazato's work to Eric, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, man. He's the guy.
It's really good.
Yeah.
This was from Stuart Ing.
Of course it is. He's like the biggest drug dealer on the West Coast, man.
Look at that. Look at that
He's
range.
like, oh man, that guy sells books like crazy, man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
it's like-
crack.
Yeah, he's dude, he's crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's absolutely crazy, man.
This is one of my favorites. Just a whole page of Arzak pushing.
Yep.
Sorry, about
Oh.
Corey.
Slim Chicken will resell for 1K, I'm sure. Amen.
Anyway.
Slim Chicken's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, when we're doing the stuff that we're doing here and we're like making all of this work that we do, the thing I always say to people is and the hardest thing when you come into this space is, and I guess I shouldn't assume, that, how it all works for different people, but it really is tough to realize like how free you are to do anything. And this was I did actually two things that I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do for my first Comicsgate comic book. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And the first one, I can't tell I think this was the second one, but the first one
Did you do these drawings before you started Nosfero?
Yes. I think before I started Nosfero proper, this is what I was working on, man.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, there you go. This guy looks like my teammate, doctor, actor buddy. Jeez, John Larkin, very nice, man, and good to have a doctor actor buddy. That's what it's about, man. It's
talking about your drawing. He's talking about your drawing.
I think so. Yeah, I think you might be talking about
Okay.
this cat right here. Yeah, he's got some teammates. He dabbles in the sports and he travels to get it done. Shout out to Diesel, man. But it's crazy because you have the ability to do anything. And the thing I had, in my mind was, about doing this kind of stuff was that, I've got, I had my fan base that was largely, buying my fully painted art books. And I thought, I need to make sure, man, I have a lot of art, dude. It's like realizing how much art I have here. Holy cow. Where'd all this come from? Good God. But I realized that, I had a big audience of people who were collecting my paintings and buying my art books. And I thought, I got to do something painted, but I didn't have an idea for a story. So when this thing came together, it just, it was nuts. Like it was just meant to be the story.
Perfect.
It was the story I was going to do my first Comicsgate book on. And then I just fell in love with the world. So I've just been in head sketch, signing, bagging, and boarding land.
Are you really? That must be fun.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I've got a box over there. I'm filling up. This is the fun part, man.
Do you have one in a bag and a board?
Yeah, got some over there.
Can I see it? I just want to see what it looks like in a bag and a board.
See what it looks like in a bag and a board.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. See, you've known me for
cool.
so long. You're like, this is a moment.
It is.
This right here is.
If I lived across the hall from you, like we were in college or something, this is what I'd do.
Yep.
I'd be like super
Yeah,
psyched
you'd
to
walk
see you do
over and
that.
you'd be like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
Here you go,
look at that.
bagged
So cool.
and boarded. It's waiting for its new home with a fresh head sketch inside of it, man.
That's amazing. So
It's
good.
madness, dude. It's
So
too,
good.
and you know, because
I
you
think-
met me.
I
I've
think
already
I would
done 2
just
comics.
if I had book like that, I would just smell it the whole time. Is that
Yeah,
weird?
see, but that'll keep you from getting it done. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
What you got to be doing is smelling the Coke. No, but here's the thing, and by that I mean Coca-Cola, everyone. So the thing, yeah,
Sure.
groomsman, pleasure to meet you, brother. You look like my buddy John Kim. There you go.
Oh, that's what
Well, I don't
Diesel
mean to
was
tell you this,
saying.
but it's
That's what he
Yeah,
was saying.
yes.
It wasn't the drawing. He said, I look like
Oh.
that dude. Oh,
yeah.
I hope that's a good thing. Thank you.
No,
Diesel.
dude, you got to learn how to, like, when you're on these
That's
streams,
right.
what you're supposed to say is, "I am your buddy John Kim."
That's right. That's right.
You got to just lean in. Don't disappoint Diesel.
Sorry.
You know, it's.
I forgot to
it's
tell
what
you,
it's
man.
about, man. Yeah, I love the whole bags and boards thing. What's up, Ray Haylock? Tugs web guy, which, by the way, quite an honorary distinction, my friend. Much love, man. Yeah,
He
and
was
it's good
on
to see you,
Eric's
man.
stream just
Really
now.
good to see. Huh?
He was on Eric's stream just now.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, these people are crazy, and by these people, I don't know what I mean. Maybe something offensive. No, but these guys are great, and what's cool about it is so many of the people, whether it's in Australia, wherever it is around the world, we kind of are a 24-hour convention. Now,
Yeah.
it wasn't till like maybe a year and a half in, people told me I wasn't meant to be up for 24 hours. That we did
You
it
misunderstood it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that I needed some special accommodations. So I wrote to the office. Some people were fired. It was rough, but no, man, that's what's so cool about it. It's always about, we get to hang out here. Yeah. What Cranberry Langers? What do you mean these people? I know. I'm sorry. It's my Cranberry Langers and I go back a long way, man. But so if I've got to draw a Dinosuchus, then I got to have reference on my desk for such a thing. This is the world I'm living in now. You know, just make things happen at all costs. Whatever you've got to do to get that reference, whatever you've got to do. But it's just crazy, dude. I'm always trying. I mean, because I've got to get reference where I'm like going, all right, so does the mouth on this thing open good? Can I get the roof of the mouth in there? Can I get this is the stuff
the chat know, or the people watching, like, this is Sean. He's always been like this.
Yep.
With reference, with mountains of books, with like a million pieces of his original art that just get easily stepped on and lost.
Yep.
This is how Sean is.
You don't complain. You've gotten some originals that way.
Yes, exactly. I would just take them and
I'd go, dude. A totally true story. So there's this artist on Instagram named JM Dragunis is I think what he goes by, and I had a tracing paper and I was showing a transfer process, and he goes, and I said, all right, yep, and then after this it just goes in the trash, and he sent me a message and he goes, don't throw it away, I want it. And so I sold him my tracing paper transfer sheet. So when it was in art book 2, I think it was, it says property of so and so in the collection of, because that's
you need
the way it
an
is.
archivist.
Well, I think
somebody to
eventually
archive your stuff.
I think the final archive of my stuff is going to be the cemetery. Just going to slide Shanth into that inferno, and then we're good to go. Into another inferno. So it happens. Green Laser, I am so glad you cannot wait. I told my son that, and my wife was very unhappy. I said, just know, guys, if something ever happens to me, that I'm going to be somewhere looking up at you. She hates that joke so much. So much. But Green Laser, I cannot wait to get it to you, my friend. Like, I cannot wait to get it
Archivist.
to you because
John says it's archivist. Archivist. I don't know.
you say archivist, I say tomato.
Yeah.
So ponder that, you know? Yeah. They prefer archive Americans, says Cranberry Langers. That's right, man. Yeah, Sean's art supply pimp. Listen, guys, I mean, just the money on art supplies is crazy. But I'll say this. I know this is going to sound weird because one would think, you know, oh, you're drawing your character. You must have your character completely figured out in your head. A lot of this stuff was designed as we go. When you look at the art section in this book, I actually have the first version of Laurel's face painted on the cover. That face was completely repainted to match what she became on the interior. And that's just one of many changes that happened in this book. And so for me,
That's
this is
what I don't get when you paint, like how you do, like when you paint, how you like paint over your stuff for corrections. That like just blows my mind.
Step one is I paint over it. Then I have to figure it out. Well, because it's, how do I put it? You know, man, everything I do, the approach to it is, and this goes with, you know, the step into this independent space, man. Everything I do is throwing myself off of, you know, a cliff. Essentially, and saying, and it's funny, it's not reckless because, interestingly enough, behind me on the cliff, there's usually a brush fire. Seriously, that brush fire, by the way, is called time.
Yeah,
that's it. And you know, I see so many people, man. I will tell you, so many people are afraid to step out into the space, and I've watched it in real time because they're afraid of the wrong things. They're afraid of all of the stuff that nobody cares about or remembers, even like 40 minutes after your death.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Nobody cares, man. Yeah, that's right. We ain't got no money to buy new supplies. Totally right with the Renaissance, man. And yeah, and I actually live very close to a beautiful historic cemetery. And I imagine that there's a lot of needless bullshit arguments that people wish they had not wasted their time on. A lot of things that they wish they had tried. And I think it's because I've had a lot of, you know, so much experience with death that it's and not as much as some, but more than most, that I kind of look at these things and I just go, what are people afraid of, man? Like, I mean, I know what they're afraid of, but I mean, they're afraid of the wrong thing.
We took this tour in Paris in the catacombs. Have you heard about the catacombs there?
Beautiful.
And the tour guide, for those of you who don't know, it's basically like underground. It used to be like the passageway or the sewer system underneath Paris, but all the walls are built out of the bones of people, and they're beautifully organized and arranged. If you Google the Paris catacombs, you can see it. But the tour guide was telling us, like, basically the people that built Notre Dame and these catacombs and all the huge monuments in Paris, they're here. Like, they are reduced to a skull and a femur and whatever that you are walking by next to the thousands of other bones that you're walking by. And that just gives you this perspective of like, whoa, you know, oh my gosh, like, you think you have all this time, you think, you know, what you want to create as an artist has to last a generation or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're just another.
It's night. Oh, sorry. I thought. Look,
yes, you wouldn't know.
Look, here's the bigger thing. I'll say something. You know, first of all, the big myth is you need all the time in the world. So the reason why I've got Lovecraft on this stream is because the first copy of this book that's going to be given to what? Oh yeah, there's a title of this stream. It's called Shanth Rambles, Part 5782. But the first copy of this book is getting delivered to H.P. Lovecraft's grave, which is in Swan Point Cemetery in Providence, and I'm going to be doing that, weather permitting.
Whoa, you just thumbs up me.
There you go.
I don't think I can do it.
You can do anything.
No.
A dream is a wish your heart makes. Do you understand? Do you understand? But I'm going to deliver the first copy to leave this house. Try harder. Don't be sorry. Be better. But the thing is that I'm going to deliver the first book there. And the thing that I would say, here's my favorite thing about time. So I turned 47 in September.
Ooh.
Yeah, it happens.
Ooh.
And here's a better one for you. That was Lovecraft's last year here. He died at age 47.
Wow.
So in the time I've been on this planet, I'm not trying to make myself feel bad. In the time I've been on this planet, Lovecraft created his entire body of work that changed the linguistics of horror and imaginative fiction forever. And so I want to go there because what I'm essentially doing is I am going to this guy's grave who, it's so sad that like the only things people know about him are like all of the, people, it's like Lovecraft was racist, Lovecraft with this. And I'm like going, sure. Yeah. Not what he's famous for though. And he's wasn't even that great at it. I've met better racists. But the thing about it is that he was a very tortured dude and his fiction reflects that. And it's absolutely brilliant. I think it is criminal the way they took his name off of awards and all of this other crap. It's ridiculous. This guy is a straight up genius. So if it wasn't for H.P. Lovecraft, this book wouldn't exist. And it's really important to bring that book to him, for me anyway, just to say, hey, thank you. I am creating on the foundation that you laid down with all of your stuff. So a page like what you guys
do a
have
head
seen,
sketch for Lovecraft. Do a head sketch.
He doesn't get a head sketch. He did. All right, that's the way it is. But a page, a page like this, if I can get it to work. Dang, I hate this light. Hang on, I'm gonna turn it this way. A page like this right here is Lovecraft. Lovecraft inspired that. You know what I mean? And a spread like, whoop, can't show that. A spread like this would not exist without H.P. Lovecraft. There is no way this would exist.
Yeah.
This is just straight H.P. Lovecraft. And so, but it's also influenced by Murnau. It's also influenced by R.E. Howard and Solomon Kane and, The Phantom. And there's so many things in this, right? But what it is, for me anyway, it's about, connecting people to that. That's why, again, in the opening section of this book, right, it's like, it's like, here's all the people and influences. I've got H.P. Lovecraft, Frank Frazetta, Rick Baker, Richard Corbin, Anton Furst. That's a pretty decent list of the people who influenced this book and its creativity, man. That's what it's about. This book, guys, this book printed like a dream. He did. That's the way it is, man. Yeah, but it's so funny because he will outlast them, man. He will outlast them. These temporary, even Lovecraft even talked about it. Like he referred to it as, in varying degrees as the artwork of the decadence. Like it's very self-referential. It's very, self-absorbed, but it's not tied to anything greater. And it's basically, it's designed to be anti-aesthetic, which is to me kind of ridiculous because that's the main core feature of art.
When did you first get into Lovecraft? What was the first thing that introduced you to
Before Spring Ball? Before Spring Ball, for sure.
Really?
Yep. In Spring Ball, I say that the laboratory that Freud is in is on Sentinel Hill, and that's a reference to the Dunwich Horror. So yeah, so he was one of the first authors I read in my 20s that I could not put his stuff down, man. I could not put his book. I read a book called The Thing on the Doorstep, which is horrifyingly timely for right now. I mean, it is it will twist your mind about. But I started reading his stuff, and I guess I would say this is that every time I read a scary book, or a horror book, I felt like they were being written by people who didn't really understand what horror was, to be honest, like what real horror was. Like they were writing horror books for people who have had relatively safe lives and who feared things like bodily harm, things like that, smaller things, if that makes sense. And Lovecraft was writing about things that are horrific. I'll give you a really good example. The Thing on the Doorstep, and I'll just pitch this, the gist of this if you haven't read it, man. H.P. Lovecraft and The Thing on the Doorstep, it's about this young kind of spoiled kid who's overly precocious, but his parents always intervene in everything that's going on. And he meets this slightly older woman he's fascinated by the occult, and she's heavy into the occult. And she has this ability that he learns about after they get married, where she can push him out of his body into hers and then take his body out. And she locks herself in the attic, pushes herself into his body, him into hers, and he's left screaming, pounding in the attic in her body.
Like they
while
switch
she goes
places.
out. Yes. And then he sometimes wakes up miles from home with no car, has no idea where he is.
Isn't that the plot of like a Lindsay Lohan movie?
Yeah. Actually, this was inspired by that. But here's the crazy thing, right? Where the book goes is now I want you guys to think about that for just a second there. Mighty Geek Studios, welcome. It's great to see you, man. Yeah, there are some books that he explored the fear of the unknown. You're 100% right. Yeah, there it is. The Lovecraft quote: the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is the fear of the unknown. And the core feature of all phobias. I remember someone explained this to me. They go, do you know what the core phobia is behind all phobias? And I thought, well, that's a bold statement. Let's see how this goes, Cotton. And I said, well, like what? And they go, fear of losing control. That's it. Fear of not having control. And Lovecraft understood how to write to like people use terms like body horror, things that Lovecraft was doing way back when. You're right. It was essentially Freaky Friday. You know what's weird? I'm not trying to be rude here, but Herbie the Love Bug was way more Lovecraftian. Yeah. And I think this is the thing about it, right? Is when you look at this, people say, if you're afraid of flying, why are you afraid of flying in particular? Well, because I'm not in control of this thing. You're not afraid when you're driving down the highway, right? You're not afraid of all of that kind of thing. And so when I talk about this kind of stuff, most of the people don't know how. Most people haven't read enough great stuff, to be able to write well. And you really do have to read. As much as I loathe that fact, no, I'm kidding. You really do have to read in order to become a better writer. And one of Freud Friday, you're right. Yeah. One of the things that really annoyed me about Dracula, the Bram Stoker's Dracula supposedly adaptation by Francis Ford Coppola, is that they handled the death of the character Quincy in a very he just died, and he was supposed to have so much more to his death. It was beautiful because he and his friends go to rescue Mina before she's killed, and by Dracula. And there is this moment where Quincy Morris is bleeding out, and it says Mr. Morris, who had sunk to the ground, leaned on his elbow, holding his hand pressed to his side. The blood still gushed through his fingers. I flew to him, for the holy circle did not now keep me back. This is Mina Harker talking. So did the two doctors. Jonathan knelt behind him, and the wounded man laid his head back on his shoulder. With a single sigh, he took, with feeble effort, my hand in that of his own, which was unstained. He must have seen the anguish on my heart, in my face, for he smiled at me and said, I am only too happy to have been of service. And then, oh God, he cried suddenly, struggling to sit up, to a sitting posture and pointing to me. It was worth this to die. Look. Look. The sun was now right down upon the mountaintop, and the red gleams fell upon my face, so that it was bathed in rosy light. With one impulse, the men sank to their knees, and a deep and earnest amen broke from all of their eyes, as all of their eyes followed his pointing finger to my face as the dying man spoke. Now God be thanked that all has not been in vain. See, the snow is not more stainless than her forehead. The curse has passed. So she had this burn on her forehead, and from the host, and he knew that she had been saved. So this story is about these three guys who are vying for the affections of this one woman and this other guy who is engaged to Mina. And all three of these guys lose the woman. One of them wins her heart. She decides to marry, but she dies. And these two guys, they're also anguished by her death. And they're there to comfort him. They all try to save her for this other dude. And then they end up seeing that the same fate's going to befall this other guy's wife, and they say, we're not going to let this happen again. It is the most incredible story of fellowship, man, to save Mina Harker. And instead they made it about Dracula being this romantic figure. And I'm like, well, no, it's it's like,
I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Beautifully done, man. But it's
I've
like,
got
oh
the
my gosh.
you have the Mignola adaptation?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Oh,
it's beautiful.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's one of his
It's great,
greatest.
but
yeah.
I always look at it and I always think to myself, I know we can do better. That's the attitude, dude. You got to live there.
All
because I will tell you, how come I haven't seen a really good portrayal of Quincy? Maybe I will in Kelly Jones's Kickstarter.
Yeah, that looks cool.
You know what I mean?
Really cool.
Yeah. They overlook that stuff so much. And here's the thing about it. The message of entertainment that leaves people feeling so hollow is, one, the people who are older than you, without question, know less than you do, which is so asinine, it's almost painful. Like it's basically, it's a smart play. Like if I was one of those people who was on the hustle trying to manipulate people, that's the first thing I'd tell them. I'd say, trust me, nobody knows more than you, because that's how you keep people stupid, right? And then the other aspect of it is that I think about a lot is they say, oh, no, all the new books are just as good as the old books. And it's like, nope, they're not. The old books have lasted because they've been excellent over hundreds of years. You can't tell what a classic is going to be until at least 100 or so years pass. And are you still reading it? Yeah. It's nuts, dude. And so, that's what I'm after, man.
I'm going to go get that book. I want to look at it. Hang on.
Go get it. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah. How do you keep people waiting on your word? Absolutely. Dare to be stupid. This is an awesome one. Yeah. You had another one up there. I just died in your arms tonight. Yeah. It's a crazy thing because, there's so many, there's so many great relationships in that book. Yeah. There it is right there. Yeah. I've got that book too. And it is beautifully illustrated, man. Yeah, there's so much wisdom in the classics. Absolutely, man. Yeah, standing the test of time. And when I was doing this, that's why I said, the origin story for Spider-Man lasted 11 pages, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It lasted. Now you're big on screen. Deal with it.
Oh, geez.
Welcome to hell. No. So, yeah. And if you know Mike Mignola's work, this is a little bit more drawn than his work typically is, but it's got a lot going for it. It's got some really nice. I wish I knew where I had it.
I think it's a great balance of like his, simplification, but also his like he captures the likenesses really well. Like, look at that, so good.
So. Let's talk about Dracula adaptations too, because This is one I got when I was in school, when we were in school. And I think you might know this one, come to think of it. This is the John J. Muth Dracula art. Do you remember this?
I do. Vaguely.
I don't know if you've seen this.
Not recently.
Yeah, so I had this book, and dang, this is gonna be tricky because of the lighting here. But I had this book. Look at that bat, man. That sounded funny.
I didn't even notice it. That's awesome.
And then look at these inks.
Mm.
And that's why this actually makes me think of what I was talking about with Eric on the last stream in terms of range. Looking at his ink work and then tying it to his painted work. To me, I think it works great. But here's the Demeter.
I think Eric can do it. He should do something like
100%.
that.
I have utter faith in Eric, man. But look at this. Look at how true that is. I mean, it's just, and I'm so happy that
your book's gonna live
Kelly
in this
Jones,
space, man.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Your book is gonna live in this space, right next to this space.
I can mute you.
I was like, am I muted? What?
No, I'm just messing with you. But look at the world that these, and like Dracula is there for anyone to use. Look at her standing on that cliffside. And if you look, I'm going to need to get more light on for this. Hopefully it won't totally blow this thing out. But look at her standing on that cliffside. Yeah. How simple those brush strokes are, man.
Beautiful.
Yep. And you're right.
What is John J. Muth doing these days? I haven't seen anything from him recently.
Awesome. You know, he's probably just being awesome in a bathtub of money. Like, I don't know. That's actually not the artist's life. It's probably a bathtub of paint. But this is the thing, right? Mighty Geek Studios, you're right. And they did it in 11 pages. In 11 pages, he was bullied in high school by Flash Thompson. He went to a science fair, was bit by a radioactive spider. He entered a competition, got angry at the guy not paying him, let a criminal get away. That criminal shot Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben died. He hunted down the criminal and realized it was the man he let get away. And it ends with him walking off going, oh my God, because of my inaction, Uncle Ben died. That is 11 pages. 11.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And always, John, 100% bound, Mrs. and Jetty. You're right. But it's, you guys know what I mean. What's up, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs? It's great to see you, my friend. So when we look at this stuff,
that's the greatest handle.
Isn't it? It's the greatest handle of all time.
Yeah.
You even got a reference to that painting, The Nightmare, in here. You know? But it's like, and actually I have a reference to that, I think, in my I'm pretty sure I have that in my art book. Let me see here. But yeah, I mean, look at some of these things. These things are like get very abstract. Like that's the ship when it's discovered. But then you've got this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. Just make sure I don't. I mean, just look at the mood in this, man. Yeah. It's just beautiful. That's suboptimal. You know, but it really, they explore all of this stuff beautifully. And I just think that, you know, if you can make it to, when I was in college and when I bought this book in college, this book is only slightly younger than our friendship, which is terrifying. But when I got this book in school,
it's aged so much better.
It's aged so much better. It doesn't look like a slightly inflated bag that was then deflated a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hanging on. The meat is just all slack. But the thing about this stuff, man, is it's what it's dealing with. You know, that bat floating through the night sky, you know, and, you know, just the atmosphere of it. You could not print a book of this print quality unless you were a major publisher and you were rich. And oftentimes they printed these things at a great loss. I know this book did not make money. I know
What was the cover price?
The this is going to be the painful part for me in terms of inflation.
Yeah.
And what I charged for my book. Yeah, in case anybody's wondering, let's look it up because I'm sure it's here.
With no,
But
with
this
no
was wait,
sparrow
let me
sitting
read
right
this
there.
first. What'd you say?
With no
Yeah,
sparrow
let me
sitting
read
right
this for you
there.
first, guys. So this book is copyright 1986 and 1992, which is when this was printed. Now let me see if I can find the price because I was so certain I had the price of this book was somewhere in here, and it's driving me crazy, man.
It's on the
Where the
back, like
hell
a
is that?
barcode or something.
Yeah, I've got a barcode, but I haven't got the price on here. But if I'm not, now I've got to look this up, man. This is gonna piss me off.
Is that
Oh my
cover? Is that a painting too, or is that a photo?
Yep, it's a painting.
Wow,
Yep.
that's killer.
Let's see here.
The lighting on her face is amazing.
Yep, it's pretty outstanding. Let me see.
Did you ever
Symphony
see
and
Dan
Moonlight.
Green's Shambhala? Did you ever see that?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I picked that up recently at my comic book store, and it was really cool because it's painted. Doctor Strange, very
Uh-huh.
different. I mean, it's not as good as Muth, but it's very, very different.
How could it be? I'm kidding. Let me see if I can find this. Hang on. It's gonna annoy me. What was the cover price of this book when it came out? It just doesn't say. That is really annoying. But if I remember correctly, it was either $19 or $25. It was in that range. And that was a few decades ago. 30, I believe. God help me. And so, yeah, so I decided to do this book here for probably about the same price back in 1993.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there, guys. And yeah, and with all due respect to John J. Muth, there's a few more paintings in this book.
Yeah. That makes up for it.
I mean, come on now. And it's an original story. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, I get all the I get everybody like using the public domain characters and stuff. It's great, but I love that you wrote your own character.
Got to, man.
Yeah.
Because here's the great thing about the public domain. Public domain is great, and I'm going to say this, and I really want everybody to get this into their heads, okay? Because I think I talked about this on the Imagination stream, man. And this is a big thing, right?
See ya, Cranberry Lingers.
Yeah, all right. Take care, Cranberry. It's great to see you, my friend. Much love. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. But this is the big thing about this stuff, man. It's like people think that it's important to create your own IP and do all of this sort of stuff. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of things, it's like saying, it would be really great to buy Netflix stock when it first went public. You're right. It really would be great. Like that's a great idea. Why didn't I think of it? My father-in-law once came up to us, God rest him, a terrific guy. And Laura and I, it's one of our favorite stories about him. He came up to us and he goes, have you guys heard about Harry Potter? And we were like, yeah, we have. We've heard of that. And he was like, you guys should come up with something like that. And we were just like, that's truly good advice. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Cranberry Langers, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And let me send a cheerleader. First cheerleader of the night, my friend. This, my friend, God bless you.
What am I? What am I? Aren't I a cheerleader? No?
Charge!
I knew you'd appreciate that. It's one love, man. It's one love. But yeah, so he said, come up with that Harry Potter thing. And I was like, right? What the hell are we doing? And but it was funny because what people don't realize is if you have skill, if you have craft, and that's why I'm so excited about Kelly Jones doing that. Have you heard about this book?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tracking it for sure.
I haven't actually looked at how it's doing, man. It's like
it's doing well.
Is it doing Eric July numbers?
No. I mean, that's unfair.
Yeah, that's unfair. No, they're probably doing better than No Sparrow numbers, man. Holy Lord. Yeah, but it's like, I mean, and deservedly so. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
Deservedly slow. So you've got Matt Wagner, and they're at $169,000.
That's great. Yeah, that's
for
great.
their Orlock Press book. It's on Kickstarter now. And here's the thing. That is just smart casting right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, would you like to see Kelly Jones illustrate a non-Batman comic book? I'm not sure.
That has like,
what if it's
creatures
Dracula?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And that is a perfect example because he owns the artwork in his interpretation of that, man. You know what I mean? Like, he owns that interpretation. And
yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Matt Wagner. I mean,
Grendel,
obviously
man.
with Grendel and wow, blanking on the one. What's the one with the dude with the bat and the lightning bolt? Oh my gosh. Sean, help me out.
I know. Mage?
Thank you. Oh, you were drinking? Okay.
Yeah, usually.
Yes.
Oh, no. Malin's Black Riding Hood is a smash hit. That thing is like $150 if you want to get it now, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I just I have so much appreciation for Matt Wagner now that like the independent movement is kicking in again. It's taking on a new life. He's just held on to that. He's held on to that flag for a long time and has been successful in it. You know, in the ups and downs of indie books, he's been successful in it, and it's just
same with
kept
Billy
waving
Tucci,
that flag.
man.
Yeah, same
Right?
with Billy Tucci.
You look
totally.
at guys. This is the thing about it, right? If you're lucky enough. And something that I think I talked to Michael Bancroft about, not positive, but something I talked to Michael about not long ago was we were talking about how we've had a lot of times in our lives where we felt like we were like the entertainment industry or comics or whatever. There were these moments where you could get in, and if you had talent and skill and opportunity at the same time, you could make things work. And what we kind of found was that we missed all of those windows. So we were always getting in just after them or just before them. So when Comicsgate came along and this Iron Age scene that we're in right now, which includes books, and I would even include, things I didn't think of as Iron Age, obviously, because they were before, whether it's Tom McDonald's Music or the Townsend's channel on 18th Century, where they're like, we're going to do a grassroots history channel. These, like Michael said to me, he goes, I am not going to miss this opportunity. I can look back at a lot of things, but I do not want to look back and say like I hemmed and hawed and missed this opportunity. You know what I mean? What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? It's great to see you. So do you have paper and stuff near you?
Speaking of Matt Wagner, Mr. Monkey Boy's got a Grendel.
That's right, he does.
That's awesome.
He does, man. It's a beautiful thing. Grendel is awesome. Do you have any paper or digital drawing stuff with you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Don't lie. That's a commandment. In case you're wondering. Kind of an important one. Bearing false witness. But whatever, I'm not here to judge. Hell's fire is the same temperature for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, and somewhere there's a voice going, "You'll know that soon, Sean." It is.
Yeah, you first.
It is what it is. Yeah, I was trying to explain to my wife why I love the expression "I'll see you in hell" so much, because the person who's saying it to you is saying, "I will also be there."
Right.
That's why it's some gangster stuff, man. But I want to see you do some Paul Castor sketching, man. I want to see you do some Paul Castor or some Blue Coat sketching. Let's do this thing.
We should. We will. We are.
We should.
That's the only why I showed up here.
That's right, man.
I got a little bit.
Show these cats. Yeah, come on now. Let's make it bigger. Let's make you
No, no.
bigger. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. Welcome to hell.
Just a little bit. Just
There
a
you
little
go.
bit. Figuring out some stuff.
Get it closer to the camera, dude.
No, not yet.
All right, I'll just leave you big. Do you want me to leave and leave you in here by yourself, or what do you want me to do? This can go like a lot of ways, man. And they're all terrible.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, one of my favorite descriptions of hell. This is going to sound like a terrible series. Oh, let's see it. Bring it closer.
I can't because it won't focus. I don't have an autofocus on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. Do you have a desk cam set up?
Not for streaming yet. I'm working towards it.
Okay, we got to get that done, man.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry. I'm working to it, man. Give me just a moment.
Have you seen my diet? I'm not going to live that long. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You'll be drawn with the Mrs. Bates shop.
Oh man.
You'll be talking to this stuffed husk going, yeah, and you remember that time in college? And the husk will go, yeah, I remember that time. It'll be
Oh, you can really see blue doesn't show up.
nice, dude. Those layouts?
Yeah. You know.
Hello, this is tech support. This is Simply Green. Hello, this is tech support. Yeah, it's funny when artists' thumbnails are so as detailed as regular art. That's right. Looking in Reenie's direction. Amen. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We're moving forward a little bit, little by little.
I'm telling you, when you asked me how many pages this thing was that I have on my desk right now, and I didn't know that's sincere, right? And the secret to the stuff, and this is absolutely how Nosfero happened. I said, for all these things, I go, I've got an idea for a first page. See, Diesel. Thank you, Diesel. It is good work he's doing, man. Yeah, respect Diesel. Diesel's my brother, man. Hyper Wizard has 1,000 layers on his drink. I believe it, man. I believe it. You know, but it's when I was doing this story, I basically took stories or took ideas I had, and I said, I'm gonna try to I know what the first page is, and then I'm gonna see if I can figure out what the second and the third page is. And I just kept going, and I sort of treated it like pulp writers' work, which was to say, if a page goes by and I can't think of anything exciting to put on the next page, then it doesn't work. You know, and so
that's how I'm feeling about this YouTube stuff. Like I'm just trying to do put the first foot forward, just do the one video.
You know it, man. Video. I mean, I was watching you because we get to see people backstage. That's the fun thing, right? Before the show starts. And I remembered those times. It's a nightmare. It's nightmare fuel, you know? And people go, why haven't you streamed in a bit? And I always say, go watch, when Bancroft and I were watching our first stream, and it was just and then that's there. And now that disappeared. Oh, no, wait, you can see it. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? That is 100% how it feels. And then you're reading the chat, and you're drawing, and you're painting, and you're talking to people, and you're spinning all this stuff. And I will say this, the more you get, the longer it's been since you've streamed, and the more you get out of the groove, the longer, laugh out loud, boomerific. It's absolutely true. And that's the thing, you don't, you have to get back into the swing of it, and the skills don't totally go away. But little things like building videos, like Lauren was looking at the Paulcaster trailer that I play before my streams. And she's like, is that just to be a trailer? And I'm like, yes. She's like, you did all of that just to make this. I said, yeah, because these streams should be fun. Guys, I'm going to show you this. Actually, I want to share it. Let me share it a different way. Hang on a second here. That sounds like this could go in a lot of directions. I got to be honest with you. That's a sentence that could lead to terrible. It's like when someone says, I'm finally finished. You're kind of like, okay, cool, dog. But with what? You don't know. You know, that could go a million places and be terrifying. So let me see here. Here we go. So this, if I can share it here, let's do this. Present, share screen, window. Now you probably won't hear the audio, but you'll at least see the images here. So this is the famous or infamous cheerleader super chat video. When somebody sends a super chat to this channel, I play this cheerleader video. Now, there's a couple of important things going on in this. One is we've got one of the people from Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, decked out in different attire. We've got the actor who played this is the gentleman who played the man from Venus. This is the gentleman who played the alien from Mars. This is the crazy guy who was a red herring. This is my regular waitress, and he also owns this diner. There's no Sparrow sitting on the countertop with waffles because waffles are great. Here is the cheerleader GIF that I changed their uniforms to have the Waffle Lodge logo, which I've updated 3 times. Real pain in the ass. And then here's the logo outside. And this gentleman turns around. All 3 of these characters blink. They dance, and there's a flying saucer that is smoking out the window where it's crashed. Okay? That is just to say thank you for sending a super chat. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to just do some frame by frame on this.
Did you read? You should read Mr. Monkey Boy's latest comment.
Is it glorious? I feel like I've come into the middle of chaos. You have 100%.
Yes. Agreed.
I'm finally finished on
Confirmed.
my sourdough bread starter. That's right, man. Present. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. What is up, brother? It's great to see you here, man. Long time no see. So here you go. Let's do a frame by frame on this thing if we can. Let's see here. I think I have to hit play first, and now we'll do a frame by frame. So look at the characters in the background. Look at that gentleman as he turns his head on the right side of the screen. He's going to turn his head. As he turns his head around, let me see if I can find it. And he looks all the way one direction. Then I keyframed his eyes. And by the way, look at the flying saucer out the window. See it smoking? I warped some smoke that I found online. And then I think she blinks first, and the redhead at the grill blinks first. He blinks. That's right. That was sort of a hand-painted blink, and his eyes are hand-painted. And then I think, does the guy... I'm trying to figure out who blinks next. Is it... Yeah, nope. There he is. The man from Venus under the Buy Comics sign just blinks. See that? And I think she might have blinked before, but she might blink after. Let's see who blinks, who I missed. I know the gentleman from Mars behind the guy with the hat blinks at some point. Let's see where that is. Yep, there he is. He just blinked. And she blinks at the same time he does. Do you see it? They're both blinking. As the smoke goes, this is what a super chat on this channel is. When people send a super chat, I want them to get something that's nuts. And this is sort of the diner at the end of the world.
Somebody needs to clip that of Sean going, and she blinked. Did you see it? At 12? What time is
people
it? At
sometimes say to me, they go,
in the morning.
Yeah. People have said to me, are you worried you're crazy when you're doing all of this? Overkill 100%. And people say to me sometimes, are you worried that people think you're crazy? And I'm like, I'm worried I'm not in front of a computer. I'm at a bus stop. Then I'm like a 75-year-old, white guy who thinks that this technology exists. Right. I mean, this is some dark stuff, guys. This is where it gets crazy. Nobody's here. There's no such thing as a computer. But here's the thing.
See, the difference
I want
between
this stuff
this
to be
happening.
Fun.
The difference between this happening when we were in college and now is that it wasn't recorded for all eternity. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's true.
The stupidity wasn't recorded for all eternity.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what's so funny is we didn't know how good the stupidity was when we were young. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. You know what I mean? I
No,
think
it
that
was
there's
fun.
something about yeah, yeah, that's right. No, I'm actually crazy, right? Because remember, that's the line from Speed. No, Jack, poor people are crazy. I'm eccentric. Like when he gets rich, when he's got all the money. No, I'm actually poor enough to still be crazy. But you know, what is it? Should I disavow my own statement? No, you're good, man. But it's this stuff happens. Um, Oh, so yeah. So here's the thing. The stuff I'm doing is literally layers in Photoshop and iMovie. That's the
Yeah.
stuff I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not using anything complicated because for me it's easier to do something that's somewhat complicated in a way that I know than to learn a more complicated way of, you know, doing something, or I should say a new way
Yeah.
of doing something unless it's absolutely necessary. So I
Yeah,
pick
I
up,
agree.
you know, tech as I need it, you know. And that's just kind of the way I'm always going to be when it comes to this stuff. And that's the fun thing about, you know, about doing this work and getting this book is that we can make stuff that's of a quality that the big comic companies and the huge publishers had to do. The only thing we need is, and it's a big thing, is but we need the customers, we
Balls.
need you guys who back these books and send super chats, man, because and the money goes directly to us, you know, instead of going through 50 other people. Like I'm backing and boarding and signing every one of these books.
Yeah.
I'm doing the whole thing, man, you know. But that's the
What's your
craziness
goal
of
of
it.
getting those all the like bagging and boarding done? What's your goal? Do you have
Same
a
goal with Nosfero before I'm dead.
That's not
That's
enough
my goal.
time.
No, we want to get these. Yeah, we want to get these out as soon as we can, and that's the answer I give for everything. You know, when people were asking me for Nosfero, like the biggest, you know, about when things were going to get done, the biggest thing I would tell people is I go, look at where I'm at. Balls, the Grimsman. That's right. When people were asking me where I was on Nosfero, I remember thinking it would be dishonest for me. Like, if people want to see where I'm on the book, I can show them the pages. They can see me working, all that stuff. But I don't want to give people a date on things until I'm really ready. So when people say, is the book done yet? To me, the book isn't done with all the supply chain craziness and papers that have ceased to exist. The book isn't even done and printed until I have it in my hand and I can physically verify that it's done. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to show people, is the book done? Yes. You know, that's the answer. It's like, it's absolutely 100% done. Is my head sketch done? Yes.
That's awesome.
It's done. You know? So yeah, so that was my attitude kind of going into this thing, which was, you know, and so now that it's done, it's like our goal is to ship it out as fast as possible. I wanted to be shipping it out in October, but there were color correction things, and I wanted to do a second proof, and I wanted, when people got this, I wanted it to be, you know, bang on. I mean, I don't want to send people a book that's too dark and the colors are too desaturated. So I went through what they sent me, that first proof. I better not flip through the whole book on camera. But I wanted I went through the whole book, got out all my paintings again to color correct it and make sure it was accurate. So I did 2 or 3 runs of that, and then that's where it was, man. You know, I have done some video editing. Very cool. Never drawn anything. I think Sean's son works in Blender. Yes, he does. He's a professional effects artist. Yep. We were just talking about that today. Work. It's nice to be able to talk to your son about work. It's kind of cool, you know, and deadlines and insanity. But, you know, he's a senior in high school, so he's swamped with schoolwork and all that stuff on top of it. So it's crazy.
That's
He
crazy.
gets 24-hour deadlines to 3D model, you know, historically accurate ships. God bless him. And it's like he somehow manages it. I think he handles it really well. He was stressed today about it, but he blew off some steam. We chilled and things were cool, you know, and that's what's so great about it. Ship it with a cow like a moose. And yeah, I know I've got to. And Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Much love. Much love. Yeah, guys. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap up this stream and stick around because I want to shoot the proverbial bull with you, if that sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out here at the Waffle Lodge. We appreciate you guys. There's so many cool streams happening. I don't know if Eric's still streaming. If he is, go on over there and check it out. And also, I'm sure John is still streaming. I'm sure he's still doing post CAINs because he's doing a marathon on that, man. And much love, guys. Yeah, that was awkward. It's always a little awkward between us. You'll get used to it. You know how it is. Yeah,
It
all
is.
right. You know, that's
You gotta
how it is.
learn. You gotta learn to sit with the awkward.
You gotta sit in the awkward. That's what it is, man.
Life is awkward.
It is. Word. All right,
That was
gang.
awkward.
Yeah, of course it is, man. Awkward. So here's the thing. Ciao, awesome one. Thank you guys so much, all my channel members, everybody in the chat, Mr. Monkey Boy, awesome one, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, Simply Green, John, of course, Comrade Sammy. Let's see what else we've got here. Hazard is here. Let's see what else we've got. Simply Green, I've gotten. Channel member, respect. Etherline or Aetherline. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I hate that when I do that. Let me see who else we've got. Let me make sure if I've got mistake. But Diesel, of course, in the house. Diesel, always great to see you, brother. Green Laser was in here. Thank you so much, Green Laser. Let's see if I've got anybody else I've missed. Of course, Cranberry Langers, my man. It's awesome seeing all of you guys in here. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. And yeah, guys, we will see you guys soon. And I will close out with our wonderful channel members in the credits. You guys are awesome. As I always like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace, because that is what my name means. And I will see you guys very, very soon with another stream. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.